Hello, I'm Ross Hall, and this is Weather Network News for Thursday, April 5th. It is indeed April, but you'd never know it by looking at Ontario. Spring has been up and down in the province, and today is what most people would likely call down. Snow is flying in northern Ontario, just like it was yesterday. Conditions were so bad, police were forced to shut down several roads, including Highway 11 near Matheson. Almost every provincial capital is below average temperature-wise today. Cool conditions continuing across most areas of the nation, although you'll make it to the low double digits in Vancouver and Victoria. That still is below average.
I have to ask you, when it's like this and you take your dogs to the park, is it hard to corral them back in?
Oh no, my dogs are obedient. They listen like that.
I like that.
As your cat is, right? I heard your cat is very obedient as well.
Oh yeah, no. She just yesterday flopped down on the lawn and that was it. And after an hour I was like, come on, I'm tugging on the leash. No.
Well, trying to find a segue. It's not great weather if you want to take your cat or dog outside.
This sport's not for everybody, particularly those with a fear of heights. It's called zip trekking.
This tour promotes the value of sustainability and how important the coastal rainforest all around me is to the environment. But it's also supposed to be a lot of fun. So let's find out. Ready?
Yeah, go for it.
It's quite a ride, and you can do it all year round under most weather conditions. And believe it or not, one way to fight the disease could be at your local coffee shop.
I'll have 2 cups of coffee, please. Not only can it help wake you up, but now according to a new study, this amount of Java and exercise could help prevent certain types of skin cancer.
So he didn't really talk to anybody about it much, but he did have this, as you can imagine, fantastically irritating grandson.
That grandson is Canadian actor and filmmaker Paul Gross, who is now making a film based on his grandfather's World War I experiences. The movie is centered around the Battle of Passchendaele, where over 15,000 Canadian troops were either killed or wounded.
They've recreated the Passchendaele battle scene here on the Sutina Reserve near Calgary. Now, most films would hope for clear, sunny skies while shooting, but not this one. They need a whole lot of rain.
Just a few doors down, the watermarks on these buildings still show signs of the Chilliwack River's rage that November day.
Back then, the water here would have been at least as high as my waist. Now, since the flood, they have raised this dike, but there still are some parts upstream that haven't been raised, and that's concerning to some who think that flooding here again is a real possibility.
It's a tricky maneuver for this helicopter pilot, but he performs it beautifully. And this time, under clear blue skies, Roy's plane flies again.
The wreckage from Roy's flight is still not on display to the public here, but the museum hopes to eventually have a permanent tribute to this important member of the local flying community.
Shaheen is confident that Bangladesh will rebuild after this tragedy.
We have that courage, we have that confidence. Only thing we need is some kind of support.
Bangladesh has been through this before. In 1991, a cyclone killed close to 150,000 people. But despite the recent destruction there, Shaheen still holds hope that her home country will be able to recover and rebuild. We're here at Globe 2008, a trade fair and convention on the environment, and we're here with the Federal Environment Minister, John Baird. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be with you, Ross.
All right, so you've made an announcement at this conference on cellulosic ethanol production. Now, that's a mouthful. Explain what that is and what the announcement is about.
What we do is we want to encourage a new generation of biofuel.
Andre says that the food industry is one of the top 5 consumers of energy in North America. Thank you. But restaurants like this are trying to change that.
And there are boots for every age and personality type here. At the moment, most of them are made for women, but she says this boot can be worn by men too.
So we have the rock and roll, which is more of the attitude.
Well, there's definitely a market for rubber boots when there's wet weather, but what about when summer hits and many here trade in their rain gear for beach wear? Well, Shanna's thought about that and plans to offer summer accessories too. In the meantime, she hopes her store will make the rainy season a little more fun.
For the Weather Network, I'm Ross Hall in Vancouver.